As we go through this, an investigation of this magnitude requires a lot of cooperation from a lot of people. As you can see, these people are mobile. It involves multiple counties. We would be very much remiss if we didn't thank our partners that worked with us in these investigations. The Hamilton County Adult Probation Substation officers were a tremendous help to us. These are the folks that you see out there every day working with us on the most violent offenders that are on probation in Hamilton County. And those folks are tremendous. They work in all 5 districts. They were a huge help in this investigation. Hamilton County Juvenile Probation was a tremendous help in this investigation. Our partners at the University of Cincinnati Police, it was their students being victimized. They accommodated anything that we needed, and they were a huge help to us in trying to identify various students when we recovered properties. And we wouldn't be standing here without the university's partnership today. So, Jeff, thank you for that. I appreciate it. Also, we had partnerships in outlying jurisdictions. It's not often you hear Cincinnati Police up thanking the Sardinia Police Department, the Claremont County Sheriff's Department, the Brown County Sheriff's Department, and special thanks to the Union Township Claremont County Police Department. Without all of their efforts, we would not be standing here today discussing these arrests that we have made. As you can see, these are some very violent offenders. We've been able to close 12 robberies. We know that they've committed additional offenses, and this investigation still continues. What we would like is, if anybody out there has any additional information, please call the District 3 Investigative Unit at 263-8300, or you can call Crime Stoppers at 352-3040 with some additional information. We know that there has been other offenses, and we're going to continue this investigation as we proceed. Now I'll let Captain Bardoa talk a little bit about some of the impact that it had around UC and some of the things that they did, and then we'll entertain some questions after that. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for being here today. I have to thank Dan Gerard and his people. They broke this case wide open, so to speak. Without the talent of his investigators, we wouldn't be here today. So kudos to Dan's guys. And to all of our partners in the room, to echo Dan, I can't say thank you enough to everyone for being here. We've had a series of robberies up around the UC campus area, and although robberies are down for 2014, or in fact we're 50% down for 2014, that's still 50% too many. That any robbery up there is too many to have these students threatened or feel fear of their life. So when Dan's investigators broke this case, we were able to, this is a prime example of not just across district boundaries, but state boundaries leading into Covington and across county boundaries as well, coordinating and partnering with these other agencies. My investigators were able to interview these suspects, and they have confirmed, in fact, that they did 7 robberies in the UC area. So we were able to charge these individuals with 7 of the robberies, and we still have some ongoing investigations. So we're not finished yet, as Dan had alluded to. I can entertain any specific questions you may have, but in general, these suspects would approach our victims from behind. A lot of times demand cash or a cell phone. Obviously, they brandish firearms. And at no set time, this was a pretty talented group. They had 2 or 3 different vehicles that they switched in and out. They would switch their personnel in and out of the cars as well. So they did have a strategy, and obviously they were able to have some success with the UC students as targets of opportunity. But through some good police work, we were able to stop that, and hopefully, you know, the robberies around UC will come to an end. So.
How long was this gang operating?
Wow.
We've had the two-gun gang has been on our radar since basically the last sort of intel gathering session that we had, which was in March of the year. They're a little bit harder to keep track of because they are much more mobile than other gangs that we've seen in the past, so we were tracking them via some social media and some of the other things that they've done. So we'll entertain, we've got some other speakers, and we'll entertain the rest of the questions when we finish up here.
Thank you both. So we're going to bring up Bob Ambach from UC, say a few words about the collaborative effort. Thank you.
I'd have to reemphasize what others have said already in terms of the collaborative nature of solving not only this crime, but our ongoing crimes and ongoing issues that we face around the university campus. Ensuring a safe environment on campus and within our surrounding community is obviously one of our highest priorities that both the Board of Trustees as well as the President of the University continues to emphasize. This is good news for the University of Cincinnati and the surrounding UC community. As already has been mentioned, 8 of the student robberies that have taken place recently, 7 of those can be directly attributed to this group. So we really are happy to get this group of folks off the streets. These arrests, as well as the arrest yesterday for the sexual assault that occurred on September 29th, are significant accomplishments for UCPD as well as the Cincinnati Police Department. Our continued collaboration is working to ensure the safety of our students, faculty, staff, as well as our area residents in Clifton. In fact, crime on and around UC's campus is at a 5-year low, down approximately 20%. And in spite of these robberies, robberies have decreased about 18% over the last 4 months. To continue our positive momentum, we're also in the process of adding 24 additional police officers as well as 10 security officers to the UCPD Public Safety Department. Investing in safety is investing in our future and the future of our community. I want to thank our officers, the Cincinnati Police, for their hard work and collaborative efforts to keep the university and the city of Cincinnati safe. Thank you.
I think there's a UC student body president. Is the UC student body president here? Thank you. I didn't see you over there.
So quick few words on behalf of the student body. First of all, thank you. I think that has been the reoccurring few words that have been said here is thank you. And the reason for that is, I mean, as a student, knowing that there's been some closure to some of the things that have happened near our campus, it is almost a sigh of relief. And to know, especially with the accomplishments of yesterday and the fact that there was that arrest, and then the couple that were made, or the 8 that were made today, it is absolutely phenomenal as a student to know that there was, again, that closure. And you can tell, I mean, as a student, and I'm not a student body president, but speaking as a student on campus, you can see the efforts that are being made, the collaborative efforts that are being made. You can see the UC ambassadors that are patrolling the areas. You can see Cincinnati Police helping patrol our areas. You could see UCPD and their efforts that they're making, not only outside of campus, but on campus too, and the interactions that the officers have with their students. And I think that's absolutely critical to build that trust between students and our officers. So on behalf of the student body, thank you so much for all that you do here in the city of Cincinnati and near our campus. And again, the UC is absolutely booming right now. We're a university that's on the rise, and we could not do that without making our surrounding areas more safe. So with that, thank you.
Okay, if anybody has any questions for any of us now, we'll be happy to entertain them.
So you got 8. Suspecting any homicides?
The investigation's continuing. We know that there have been other unsolved offenses that are out there, and that portion of the investigation is going to continue.
Does it include any homicides?
We're going to look at any open cases that involve firearms.
You got 8. How many more people are involved in this gang?
There are several other people that are on their Facebook postings and some of their other social media postings. We're attempting to locate them now so that we can either effectively rule them in or rule them out as suspects in this. And also, as we get more detailed information, especially we hope we're going to get some Crime Stopper tips as a result of this, there'll be additional other people that we'll be seeking out as part of this investigation. And when we get additional information, we will go back and re-interview all the people we have in custody again as well.
Okay. They confess to a lot of this. So I'm just wondering, did they articulate what was the joy? And it wasn't getting $40 from a wallet or a cell phone. There had to be more, something cheaper and darker. Did they say why this was so much fun for them?
As you can see in the video and some of the postings, a lot of it was about reputation. You wanted to make your reputation out there on the street as somebody not to be trifled with. You know, especially if you have an active feud with another street gang that's out there. In their case, it was skep bands. You want to prove to skep bands that you're not people that you want to come in and you want to try and take advantage of. And understand also that skep bands is on our radar and has been for a while, too. They don't get a pass in this.
Is it clear what they're feuding with skep bands about or over?
No, this is actually it's, you know, like I said, this isn't neighborhood-based. We're not 100% sure. It's usually something of a personal nature. That's really what these gangs fight about. through our work with the Cincinnati Initiative to Reduce Violence over the past several years, that's what we've seen. The beefs are personal. They're not necessarily gang directed. So it could very well that two people in those particular gangs had an argument over a girl. Somebody could have owed somebody money. It could be something as trivial as that.
What linked them together to a gang when they're from so many different neighborhoods? Do you know what the common denominator is?
Common denominator for a lot of these folks were they had family in different areas, so they became acquainted in different parts of the city because of their family relationships. They saw that they had a common interest in banding together. They had some people in common that they didn't like, so that's how they banded together.
Would you go so far as to call this a generational gang?
No, as you can see, this is a very young individuals. Everybody here is between the ages of 15 and 19. So this is not an old established gang. I mean, we're not talking like, LA Bloods and Crips or something where you're born into this. This is something that forms. We have a lot of loose-knit affiliations of individuals that commit crimes together, and they fall solidly in that category.
I know that the teenagers are already being bound over. Never mind. You don't need it. They gave your opinion on that. But
Thank you.
I am wondering, I don't know, Chief Blackwell, this might be up your area. You do a lot in the city for young kids. How, you look at this group, 15, 16 years old, and how do you get to the point where this is what gives you such joy? And are they lost? Is there any way to save kids like this?
Well, that's a very good question. Deb, you usually ask really good questions. Thank you for that. I mean, there are a whole host of reasons why young inner-city kids, boys and girls, join gangs. But the number one is probably the sense and the need to belong to something. We have a dearth of fathers in many urban areas in the United States. We have urban cores that are far too violent, and young people have to navigate those. And so crews, cliques, gangs, posses, whatever you want to call them, it's not a situation that's indigenous to Cincinnati. I mean, this is a nationwide phenomenon. We are seeing gang evolution here that is not the traditional look of what Danny Gerard said, the Crips and Bloods and the BDGs and so forth. So we formulated a gang unit, and we also put a lot of resources back in our task force officers so that we can laser focus on the most heinous street criminals in the Cincinnati and the tri-state area, and that is those gang individuals. Those are gang members. Even when they're 15.
You had mentioned something, Chief, a few months ago that if you could get rid of, if you will, a certain number, I think you might have said about 100 or less than 100 people, that's where the bulk of the problem is coming from. Would that include, obviously, this 8?
Absolutely. I mean, we know we deal with about 1/2 of 1% in this community that are the hardcore criminals that we have to strategically deal with and eradicate. And in doing so, you don't want to have jump out teams or zero tolerance models or sweeps or anything like that tend to alienate police and community and create fractures and discord. So the type of work that we do here in Cincinnati is being replicated throughout the entire nation, in fact, throughout the world. And we're very proud of that. And Chief Whalen and these two captains have done an outstanding job in this case and other cases. We've stood SERV back up, and it's very strong and robust. And we are looking to have another roundup in the real near future.
Question for Bob, that you don't even have to go back. But you had mentioned 24 number of people that you're adding. You said 24 police and 10 security guards. Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry. Okay.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.